corner right there is loaded. Cam Taylor-Britt, we all know, is one hell of a football player, and he's going to be drafted in the NFL when he's done here in Lincoln. And he's the heart and soul of not just the defense, but I think this whole team. And that makes this position group probably the most happy to have coming back. The ones that make you want to that you're going to be proud of. We know what Cam Taylor-Britt brings to the table. And then, I guess we're talking the whole defensive secondary. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I said corner there a second ago, but
I did too.
Yeah. but when you also have a Markel Dismuke coming back and a Deontay Williams coming back, it's unbelievable with the amount of games that these guys have played, with the experience they have, and it's been fun to watch these guys grow up from an 18-year-old high school player to they're a full grown ass man now, and they're still playing college football here in Lincoln. And so you have to be excited about those guys coming back, and because you already know that those guys can all play at a high level. And right now you're thinking maybe Quentin Newsom has that job, but we don't know. Because Tyreek Johnson comes in here from Ohio State, a former 5-star, like you mentioned, Mark, and we haven't got to see him play yet. But if you're going to rank him in like a list of your top 40 Huskers or something like that, I think you got to rank him in there pretty. That you're thinking he's going to play a lot of snaps here. He might not have done what he wanted to at Ohio State, but he comes in here with a second chance here at Nebraska, and who knows? He could win that job. You just don't know right now. So, you know what? I'm super excited about this secondary, and I think this is one of the biggest strengths of this Nebraska defense, and it's going to pay dividends. I think you're going to see these guys have already proven that they can produce some turnovers, but I think it's going to really blow up a lot this year.
Some of the best production on the defense, as you mentioned, comes from that secondary. Deontay Williams coming back from a 51-tackle season. And again, that was an 8-game season. You expand that out to 12 to 13 games. You're talking about racking up 80, 85 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack with 4 passes defense. Markel Dismuke, 47 tackles right behind him, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 passes defensed. Cam Taylor-Britt, had a nice season as well, 2 picks and 3 tackles for loss.
Yeah, these guys are going to produce, and when you add in, you get some more pass rushers going in there, and just a solid offense that's not always putting your defense in such a horrible position that I think these guys are going to flourish. And, I think that turnover margin is going to go up quite a bit with these guys. And we saw, Cam Taylor-Britt, he had that beautiful interception there against Iowa there this season. That was just amazing. Just a big pump up for the whole crowd and everything. And this kid's going to be a leader of this group. And with Travis Fisher coaching these guys, the sky's the limit. You already got 3 guys that have already bought into his program or to his style and everything. And I just expect tons and tons from this position group.
Folks, if you missed last week's show, Greg just alluded to the turnover rate, offense and defense. We highlighted that last week and had a discussion about that. Just this blows my mind. Bottom 3 in the nation in turnover rate offensively, meaning you're turning over the ball worse than any team in the country outside of 2 teams. Bottom 3 in the nation turning the ball over offensively. Bottom 15 in the nation getting turnovers. So they had to, you combine those two, they had the worst rate in the nation. Okay. Then on top of that, bottom 3 or 4 in the nation in producing explosive plays in the passing game. Only 4 passes the entire season over 30 yards. And they still go 3-5 and play everybody within 1 score, except for Ohio State and Illinois, and win 3 games against some decent teams. And I just got to think that they're winning most of the plays. But if you would measure each play and say who won that play, then Nebraska, since they're losing the turnover battle and they're not producing explosive plays, like they're pushing people around at the line, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot. It's those mistakes and those turnovers that have just shot them in the foot time in and time out, and you're always putting that defense in a really tough position because they're not having to defend 80, 90 yards of the field. They're having to defend 10, 20 yards of the field. And, you can't win very many ball games doing that. So, yeah, we've all talked about this so much since last year that you have got to limit those turnovers and stop putting the rest of the team in just a horrible position. And then that ratio that swaps around, at least it gets a lot better. So, yeah, you got to start putting the pressure on the opponent and making them the ones that are scrambling around and making mistakes and turning the ball over because they're the ones that are getting beat. So, we'll see.